When I think about this, I get very, very angry. There have been many points, more than once, where I've literally cried in anger, because it's not necessarily about the fact that the PM broke the rules. It's the fact that I had to watch and listen to people crying in agony and misery because their businesses were being destroyed. People that were literally frightened to go and see their dying relatives. People that were tormented and psychologically abused because of the measures this government put in place. Let's not forget, this government gave themselves new powers to be able to exercise unprecedented levels of control over our daily lives. Those are rules Prime Minister Boris Johnson encouraged, championed, and told us that was needed to keep us all safe. And that very Prime Minister was hosting parties and literally broke the rules that he himself made. And let's be clear here, we're not just talking about a birthday cake and a few minutes, we're talking about several events and more than one possible fine that this Prime Minister will receive. He may receive, but just let me say this. Yeah. If you are furious and disgusted by lockdown policies, people like Steve Baker and Mark Harper, who have spoken out about this continuously, they are men of principle because they understand you cannot impose such misery on people's lives and then be off partying, doing whatever the hell you want. He needs to go. He's disgusting in my eyes. I'm sorry, he needs to go.
I mean, number one, I completely understand your emotion and I understand where that's coming from. And also, like you, I have huge respect for Steve Baker and Mark Harper, who were two of the only people in the Tory party who were ever prepared to raise their head above the parapet at the key parts of the pandemic. So I understand that. But, Dominique, what do we do? Because we cannot have a Prime Minister in post who is completely politically paralysed, and it is very clear that there is not the overwhelming desire amongst the Tory party to get rid of him. So all I'm asking for is a degree of perspective. And if all he is going to be asked about 24/7 is Partygate, then I do believe this is part of a media agenda to rid the Prime Minister, and that isn't the job of Sky News.
OK, well, let's be clear on that, and I tweeted about this recently. If you were calling for harder, longer lockdowns, if you were spreading propaganda on Sky News, on, you know...
Which Rigby and Burley did.
Rigby and Burley, who broke the rules themselves.
But they were spreading the propaganda.
I have no sympathy for you. This is just a reason for you to attack Boris and get rid of him as Prime Minister, as it has been from the very beginning.
And that's my point.
So I completely understand that. But then, on the other hand, it is also about the ministerial code, it's about principle, it's about the fact that Allegra Stratton, he accepted her resignation for just joking about parties.
When she hadn't broken the rules.
And she hadn't broken the rules. Matt Hancock broke guidance, not law, and he accepted his resignation. And at the same time, it's not even like the Prime Minister's doing a brilliant job domestically. It's the green policies that he's still refusing to get rid of. It's the national insurance hike. It's refusing to explore fracking, which I know Amy won't like, when we have so many resources, you know, in the North Sea. It's not unlocking the potential of Britain right now. He's running around Ukraine with his messy hair, running around India, barking on and on about Ukraine to distract people. I'm sorry, he's a terrible Prime Minister.
It's like he's using India instead of the fridge this time.
Well, I think he has showed absolutely brilliant leadership on Ukraine.
Oh, he's had to, because he's been investigated by the police, so, you know, without that, he'd have nothing.